You stop because the animal does not run. No snarling, no charging, no obvious panic. It stands there in the open, head low, body still, eyes fixed somewhere near you. And for one brief second, the scene feels almost peaceful. You ask yourself the same question. Every human asks in that moment. Is it calm? For most of modern wildlife encounters, this is where the mistake begins. Because the animal's body may not be offering peace at all. It may be holding movement back. It may be compressing every escape route, every sound, every angle of your approach into one internal calculation. So what is a wild animal actually doing when it looks calm right before everything goes wrong? Start with the simplest field observation. Wild animals do not need to look dramatic to be dangerous. People expect danger to announce itself with open teeth, raised fur, loud sound, or a clean warning that feels easy to read. But wildlife biologists and field ethologists often describe something much colder. An animal under pressure can become quieter, smaller, more controlled, and more visually ordinary as the risk rises. Different species, different landscapes, same problem. A bison beside a road may lower its head and keep grazing. A moose on a trail may stand with its ears held back instead of running. A kangaroo in shallow water may look as if it is simply cooling off, when its position may be part of a defensive strategy against anything that comes too close. To the human eye, the scene says stillness. To the animal's body, it may say countdown. And if you think that sounds exaggerated, look at the body instead of the story. The body tells a clear story. An animal preparing to defend itself often shows the warning in pieces so small. Humans treat them as background. A locked shoulder, a tail that stops swinging, ears turned flat or sideways, a jaw that tightens, a hoof that shifts weight, a stare that does not soften, not panic, not friendliness. Loading. This is the part humans are worst at reading because we are trained by pets, cartoons, and viral clips to look for emotions that resemble our own. We want the face to explain the animal, but wild animals do not owe us a readable face. Their warning system is written through posture, distance, angle, breath, muscle tension, and the sudden absence of normal movement. The evidence is not only in attacks, it is in the strange, almost useless behaviors animals perform before the attack ever happens. A large animal may yawn when it is not tired. It may graze when it is not relaxed. It may look away when it is not ignoring you. It may paw at the ground, shake its head, lick its lips, turn sideways, or resume a tiny normal action in the middle of an abnormal situation. Not for sleep, not for hunger, not for comfort, for regulation. These are the behaviors humans often mistake as proof that nothing is happening because the action looks ordinary when seen without the pressure around it. But in animal behavior, out of context actions can appear when an animal is managing internal conflict, move away or stand ground, warn or wait, flee or strike. A yawn can be pressure leaving the valve. A bite of grass can be the body buying one more second. A still head can be measurement. And this is why wild encounters become so dangerous. In tourist places, roadside parks, beaches, and trails, the animal may not be performing for the person. It may be trying to solve the person. The camera lens, the slow step forward, the child moving unpredictably, the car door opening, the hand reaching out with food, the smell of sweat, the sound of gravel under shoes. All of it enters the calculation. Let's reconstruct a normal encounter. You see a large animal near a path. It does not run, so you read the lack of escape as permission. You slow down, raise your phone, and take one careful step closer. The animal lifts its head. You stop. It lowers the head again, and that looks like approval. This is not approval. There is no contract here, no shared rule, no silent agreement that the distance is safe, because the animal has not moved. The animal may be comparing your distance against every available exit. Behind it is a fence. On one side is brush. On the other side is shallow water, a road, a calf, a mate, a feeding patch, or simply a place it does not want to abandon. Escape is not always free. Sometimes moving away costs energy, territory, food, position, or protection, because distance is not just space. Distance is choice. When you remove space, you remove choices. When you remove choices, the animal does not become more trusting. It becomes more committed to whatever option remains. This is why a bison can look bored until it is suddenly not bored. Its body can move from stillness to impact faster than a human observer can update the story in their head. The lowered head was not a pose. The stiff neck was not decoration. The sideways angle was not random. It was preparation. Same with a moose standing in a trail corridor. The ears may go back, the hair along the shoulders may rise. The steps may become short and deliberate, but because there is no roar, no cinematic threat display, no human-like expression of anger, people keep walking forward as if the animal is thinking in English. It is not. It is reading pressure. And the strangest part is that the most important moment may be the moment where nothing happens. The pause, the held breath, the animal looking past you, then back at you, then past you again. Modern humans do not understand that kind of silence. We treat stillness as emptiness. We treat waiting as harmless. But in a wild nervous system, the pause can be work. It can be sensory sorting, route mapping, muscle loading, and threshold testing, all happening under a surface that looks almost blank. Research in this area often uses terms like flight initiation distance, defensive freezing, displacement behavior, and stress response, but the plain version is simple. The animal is deciding how much of you it can tolerate before movement becomes necessary, not because it is dramatic, because movement is expensive. Run too early, and it wastes energy. Strike too early, and it risks injury. Wait too long, and it may lose the only usable escape path. So the animal does not simply choose between peace and violence. It chooses between costs, and humans keep walking into the math. At dusk, this gets even harder to read. Headlights flatten depth. Camera flashes interrupt normal scanning. Boat engines, trail noise, metal fences, crowds, and reflective lenses turn a simple encounter into a field of signals that the animal has to sort through quickly. A deer frozen at the edge of a road may not be stupid. A shore animal holding position near shallow water may not be curious. A predator looking away from a group of humans may not be relaxed. The full sequence can be brutally simple. First, detection, then classification, then distance testing, then inhibition, then one final threshold where the animal either exits or commits. About a few seconds watching, a few seconds loading, a few seconds humans waste by telling themselves the wrong story. Then something changed. Not in the animals, in us. Phones made every encounter feel collectible. Roads made distance feel optional. Park barriers made wildness look managed. Social media turned the closest shot into the best shot, and the best shot into proof that the person understood the animal. More access means more confidence. More confidence means less distance. Less distance means fewer choices for the animal. And fewer choices mean more defensive behavior that humans misread as attitude, aggression, or sudden unpredictability. The trap is not that nature became more violent. The trap is that we built a world where wild animals are constantly visible, constantly approached, constantly filmed, and then blamed when their bodies finally complete the warning they were already giving. You see calm. They may be holding back motion. You see curiosity. They may be measuring distance. You see a funny yawn, a lazy graze, a blank stare, a slow turn of the head. They may be regulating pressure. You call the attack sudden because the first movement you noticed was the charge, but the animal may have been speaking long before that. Through the ear that flattened, the breath that paused, the body that angled away, the eye that stopped scanning and fixed itself on you. The real danger is not that wild animals are impossible to understand. The real danger is that they may be communicating more clearly than we realize, while humans keep translating warning into peace, pressure into personality, and restraint into permission.